Council told Fury that Strife attends to other matters, yet he is on Earth, and he is with Ulthane, protecting humanity as the Council works to expunge them. So, what was Strife doing there, and what can we glean about his personality from the role he plays in the story so far? It is possible that Strife was sent on a mission by the Council, and is somehow acting as Jones, the human, and evading the gaze of the Council simultaneously. It is also possible he just went AWOL. But why? It doesn't make much sense for him to protect the humans for no reason, especially given that it isn't until the Destroyer attacks that he actually seems to do anything. He could have taken a bridgestone and walked the Earth to find the humans, but he didn't. So I'm curious as to why. My thoughts would be that he may have been doing that until he got wind of Fury's arrival on Earth, and, knowing what she's like, thought he would be better suited to taking up an advisory role and helping her focus on what matters, to guide his sister towards his goal. It's arguable that due to his being the endless spirit of timeless unrest and all, he would not be so calm and patient, but it's also possible that he would be those things because of how he is
all that is unsettled in the hearts of that which lives and breathes.
This would enable him to know the thoughts of mankind, forever unsettled, afraid. I personally like to think of it as he understands Strife more than embodies it, just as by the end of each of the games so far, the other horsemen come to see the meaning of their names more so than just embodying them. Death is the oldest and has seen the most pain. It's hard to remove the past of being a killer when you're the creator of such things as the Grand Abominations, yet he understands death well and is versed in it and faces it himself at the end of Darksiders II. Fury is so very angry at the beginning of Darksiders III, constantly backtracking the Council and feeling hard done by, but after being dominated by envy, she learns that there's more to life than being the top of the power pyramid, and it seems to calm her. She learns from the sins and discovers that being wrathful, furious, is not always a good plan. War, at the end of Darksiders 1, ends up waging a war on the world, as the four had no ties bar to each other and the Council, really. But he does so knowingly, which is the opposite to his youthful naivety in the Abomination Vault book, and how he was tricked in the beginning of the Darksiders franchise. He's grown wiser. Strife may have already gone through this process, and so we wouldn't see it in his game, though how I don't know, but I also don't know how he managed to look like a human 1 minute so convincingly, and then was in full battle armor the next, though I blame the makers. On top of this, Fury calls Strife the delicate one when speaking to the Council, so he's obviously more inclined to subtlety and finesse than the other three of the four. There is still one main question I have about Strife, given the events of the prior games. Does he survive Darksiders 3? It's possible that he does, and that he doesn't. Personally, I don't think he does, because if he did, where is he? I assume that the third game is the first one chronologically speaking. This makes sense because Darksiders 2 came before Darksiders 1 and so it follows the pattern, but also, Strife has both of his guns, Redemption and Mercy, in Darksiders 3, while in Darksiders 1, which does happen after the other two, Ulthane has Mercy. Meanwhile in Darksiders 2, a different maker has Redemption. This would indicate to me that death arrives on the world of the Makers after the events of Darksiders 3, and that Strife had perished, his weapon being left behind. This would explain why Ulthane is so goddamn grumpy in the first game, given how he's left to defend humanity alone, and that only the few that went with Fury are likely to have survived. That's if they did. The other option is that Darksiders 3 takes place between Darksiders and Darksiders 2, with some overlap available still. This makes sense to me as the Council says that Death is missing, and this would indicate that he is doing a mission unsanctioned by the Council. It's happened in the past, but it is also what the second game is, and it would explain how Strife is doing nothing throughout most of Darksiders 3. He's having Redemption repaired. Though there is still the issue that Death would still have Redemption with him when he dies in the Well of Souls. Anyway, what do you think about Strife? What he was doing, what he's like, and if he lives or dies in Darksiders 3? I made a theory on him before the release of Darksiders 3, during which time I was quite ill, and so I hope this video has made some degree of higher quality. Also, what do you think of his design? I think it's cool, but unusual. I'm not sure how I would like to play a character like that throughout an entire game. I think I would get sick of the design, but I don't know. Still, Darksiders 4 one of these years. So, I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop, and remember, it's all about the bubbles. Goodbye.